What's up, fellow Zelda fans? Welcome back to another video of Skyward Sword. Our last videos has been kind of very story focused, as we still were able to not really get our feet wet in the action yet. This game does kind of start off a bit slow in that regards, but it makes up for incredible plot progression that really does pull the viewer in. At least in my opinion it did. This video is going to be kind of an intermittent state between gameplay and more story cutscenes, but this time we are going to be finally heading down to the surface world where all that action and wonderful gameplay, Zelda puzzles that we all love and enjoy, so let's get right into it. The first thing I will be showcasing is a few things that I forgot about in my past videos. First of all, as you just saw, there is a quick sort of hidden way to actually gain bugs before you acquire the bug net, and that is to roll against any wall or tree, etc. that may be crawling on. As long as the bugs fall upside down, you're able to pick them up. Most of the rare bugs you can't acquire without the bugs net, like the butterflies or the birds. But other insects you might be waiting forever to capture with the net. You can capture them in this manner, and it kind of gives you kind of a head start, which is nice if you're going for lots of collectibles, for upgrading all that gear and whatnot. So in that regards, you can start your collection early on and start capturing more bugs. That's one thing I forgot to mention in my past videos that I just completely forgot about. But anyways, now the next thing I'm gonna do very briefly here. It's probably not gonna take me that long, but there is actually one chest that I missed in the waterfall cave, so I'm gonna go ahead and acquire that. It's a red ruby. So I'm going back there right now to get that, and then we're finally heading back down to the surface world. So the surface world where we can finally, get some gameplay under our belt. Now, as you notice, I'm trying to gather as many rubies as I possibly can. You can pretty much bump into anything in this game, like trees and whatnot, and you'll be, pretty surprised how many items and objects fall out of trees and stuff. Alright, so here we go. Going through the waterfall cave. Now there's a chest up here that I've actually looked at before in one of my past videos. In order to grab it, you actually have to go right through here and jump down here. It's kind of easy to miss, I guess, but it's just a red ruby is all it is. And that'll give us 20 more rubies. The more rubies you get, the better, so I wanted to grab that right away. And there I just actually accidentally got pulled in by that choo-choo just now. And in order to break free, it says to, wiggle the nunchucks. And that was the first time I actually got hit, but it didn't take any life energy away from me because I was able to break free fast enough. So far, that's the first time I've actually gotten to an enemy's grasp. So let's just hurry up and slice and dice these idiots up, and let's get out of here. And let's head down to that surface world. Because we're pretty much done with everything. We've got all the bottle in hand, we've got the sword, we've got the shield, we got everything. We're all set and ready to go. I'm going to try to be as, informative as I possibly can in this video, because we're going to be entering some, part of the gameplay, and the gameplay is definitely an element in the game that's a real, dynamic and diverse, combat system. So I definitely want to talk about that when we get to that point. It's really interactive, especially with the Wii controls. This video is going to be kind of, kind of an intermittent stage between gameplay and story. So, there'll be a little bit of storyline, cutscenes, and there'll be a little bit of gameplay as well, so. And of course there's Phi trying to, you know, talk to you again. So here we are, we're finally heading down to the surface world. Alright, so now we need to go straight for the green light. That's where our first world area is going to be at. Now if you see these little, here's a cutscene. Master Link, observe the green pillar before as a column of light. Marks the point at which you can descend to the surface. Yes, you have told us this like 4 or 5 times. Okay, now this is the map basically where they're showing you the sky map. You'll see around here that there's like lots of these different tiny islands around here. Essentially, these are just mainly, you know, for objectives and, you know, certain mini games that you can acquire later on, or certain areas you can go to, but they're not really part of the main world, you know, that constructs the, you know, the surface world. The surface world is very different. That's where all the dungeons are, and that's where all the, you know, most of the action and the gameplay takes place. And this big old cloud area right here you won't have access to until much later. So anyways, that's it for that. Yeah, we already know, please. Alright, now as I was trying to say until Phi cut me off, you can see these birds right here. See how it has a red ruby? You can actually grab those red rubies, but it is quite difficult. You have to be pretty skilled at flying. So it's not too difficult to acquire those red rubies. So now we're heading down to the surface world. Finally. And here we are. Descending from high elevation, falling to a high probability to result in injury. I took the liberty of deploying the sailcloth for you this time, but in the future you can manually engage it by pressing B before landing. Yeah, we already know that. Yes, we have arrived. Sealed grounds. So the sealed grounds is basically the first kind of like tutorial area. I guess, you know, you could say it's another kind of tutorial area, but there is a huge significance to the storyline, you know, with the sealed grounds. But as you can see, there's a big map to our right. That will be the majority of this world area that we're in. Right now we have to complete the sealed grounds, and that's basically what this video is going to focus on. And now we're free. So now, this being a hero mode playthrough, you can all of your statistics from Phi that you've analyzed in your previous game are all going to carry over. So, like for example, if you target an enemy and you need advice from Phi, it'll give you a statistic based on your skills and everything, and on how you've completed the enemy and how many of that enemy you've defeated, and you'll see about that in a bit. Let's go to advice. Rumors. Rumors usually are always like future events, basically, is what they are. Hold down C to bring up potential targets for dowsing, and that's something I'll talk about as well when we get to that point. We actually haven't even got to the tutorial for dowsing yet. Hint. See, when you are fighting a Dekababa, pay attention to how it opens its mouth and swing your sword. Now this is the first enemy that you're going to face here is a Dekababa, and it's actually quite unique how the battle system works in this game. It's each enemy, you know, has their own degree of strategy. Like this Dekababa, for example, you can't just go in there and slice and dice and manage to kill it. You can see how its head is vertical, so you have to use vertical slashes to kill it, or if it pops up with a horizontal head, with its head shaped horizontally, you have to use horizontal slashes to kill it. And you know, there's going to be a lot of varied, you know, combat like that throughout the game. You know, kind of which it makes it for a more, you know, a diverse combat and more interactive, because you have to really pay attention. And you know, I make it seem pretty easy here because, you know, of course I played the game a lot of times, but but see how this one just showed up vertical. So that's generally how you kill those guys. But you know, if you're not careful, like if there's two of them right here, two targets. See, this will show you. I have the information to target items with Z. So you can hold down the Z button to just target, and then push the down directional button, and that'll give you information on that enemy. So if you went to the Dekababa, so if you kill both of these guys, basically what I would usually do is use a Skyward strike, take out the first one. See how I missed him right there because I was but yeah, you can take out the first one, then the next one will be easy. But see how I hit him and it just bounces right off the blade. So I'm gonna try to do a shield bash, which basically what that does is it stuns him, and then you can take him down. Shield bashing is a little bit harder to pull off if you're not, you know, familiar with the controls and everything. But because it takes, you know, precise timing. But when he lunges at you and you shield bash him, it will not count against damage against your shield, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, if you hold your shield out and he keeps shield bashing your shield, or if he keeps hitting your shield, it will cause damage to your shield over time. So you want to keep that in mind. Especially in hero mode, you want to use shield bashing, you know, if you can get away with it. But you don't want to hold your shield out forever, because otherwise your shield will break. So here's a cutscene that we got going on here. We see that big monster that we saw at the beginning of the game. Alright, now here we go. Now you can see there's a door right over here. And like I said, in hero mode there are no hearts, so you really have to conserve your hearts as much as you possibly can. That's why we have potions and bottles and stuff like that. So it's pretty evident that we have to go through this door somehow. So the one thing we have to do is we have to actually go down there. Now there's two ways you can go down there. You can just, you know, drop down there and use the sailcloth, or you can walk around the whole area, you know, and gather things. Like you'll find a couple of bugs hanging around, like a woodland rhino beetle. Now just add more to your collection. The more bugs you got, the better. So you want to try and capture as many bugs as you possibly can, especially in hero mode, so you can upgrade your equipment at an earlier, you know, time. So you want to always look around for as many bugs as you possibly can. So I don't believe there's anything here on this top story, so we're gonna go down here. And I don't think there's much on this circle on this pathway, but I'm just checking. Yeah, so when you cut the blades of grass, you know, no hearts appear or anything. I mean, you can get rubies and stuff from them, but you can't get any hearts, so you really gotta be careful. I mean, one attack from a Dekababa literally takes like, I think, 2 hearts in full away. So it's like, you know, three hits and you're like pretty much dead. You really have to approach every fight, you know, very strategically, you know. And with care. You don't just want to go in guns blazing, otherwise you get your ass kicked. Alright, so I don't think there's anything else on this pathway, so we're just gonna head down. We gotta go right down to where that black, like, sword structure thing is embedded into the ground there. And you can hear this ominous music, and the music just suddenly changes. Like something real bad's gonna happen. So we just have to use a Skyward strike. And hit it like that. There we go. Pretty easy. Now basically what that did was that sealed that evil aura that was coming out of that sword, and it's not explained exactly what that is, but you'll find out that later on. Okay, this is basically where Fi tells you about, or Fi tells you about dowsing. This is the tutorial for dowsing. I find it pretty useless, to be honest. You really don't need to use it that much, but it can be useful, I guess, for finding goddess chests and stuff, but for locating Zelda, it's pretty, you know, useless, because that's, you know, pretty much where we're heading anyways. But basically what you do is you hold down the C button, and it brings up this you know, menu pointer where you can change it from like the eye. The eye is basically the regular symbol for, you know, looking around and stuff, and then the Zelda icon that just appeared is a symbol for dowsing for Zelda. So I'll show you how this works. So basically hold it down, you select it on Zelda. Now you can see how there's like this purple flashing and, you know, beeping sound. And the closer you get, the circle, you know, will start getting thicker like that in between. So when we get closer to where our destination is, to where Zelda's going to be, it'll start beeping, you know, at a high pitch sound and rapidly. And that's basically what dowsing is. I find it useful for like a goddess treasure chest and stuff, but as for like for the actual, you know, storyline objectives, I just don't find use in it, because, you know, you already know where you're heading in the game. See, like, if you could tell right here by looking at the door, it's beeping like crazy, and when you get closer, it just keeps beeping. And that just basically tells you, you know, where you have to go. If you ever get lost, you know, I guess it's used for players, you know, that get lost easily. I don't use it that much though. Okay, so now we are heading into the temple. And this place plays a huge significant role in the storyline, and also, you know, future Zelda games as well. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's pretty cool. Anyways, there's a couple things that you'll notice here. First, there's like this, like, looks like a tree's been planted there, and that's also something else that plays a role in the story. And there's always pots around here. Now there is a chance to grab a fairy in here as well, so you want to try and get that. Okay, now the one thing I want to talk about are these chairs. You probably haven't if you were playing a regular game, you probably wouldn't use these as much because, you know, what they do is they replenish your health. But since hearts, you know, are cumulative, you know, and you can grab so many of them in pots and stuff like that, it's really not necessary. But since you're in hero mode, you can't gain any hearts, you know, from pots or anything like that, so you want to use every means possible to heal yourself. So that's what those are used for. Now here's our second bottle. Already we got 2 bottles. And we haven't even barely started the game yet. And this actually came with a revitalizing potion. But I'm actually going to get rid of the revitalizing potion because there is a fairy inside this room. And it's actually much better because it heals, I think, 8 hearts or so. You know, versus the 4 hearts. So I'm gonna dump this revitalizing potion that I have right now. And I'm gonna have a red potion and a fairy to start off with, which will be good. So get your bottle ready. It's in one of these pots. I forget which one. I think it might be over here on the other end. Nope, just rubies. Let's see. Let me try going over here on this side over here, back here in the back wall. No. Oh, there we go. So you just want to not that. You just want to equip your quick select your bottle and boom. There we go. Now we got a fairy. Oh, and it 6 hearts is what it does. So that's cool. So we got a potion that heals 8 hearts, and we got a fairy that heals 6 hearts. So we're pretty good to go. Good to go. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and talk to this lady. Now there's a big revelation here. I don't want to spoil it, but this lady is someone that Zelda fans actually know. I don't want to spoil it though. It's pretty interesting though when you find it out in the game, who she really is. Yep, I do have the Skyward Strike. See, I've sat here for many years waiting for you to arrive, also that I can fulfill my purpose as your guide. You can always use, you know, like Phi to target like any, you know, not just enemies, but like any NPC to find out more information about them, and sometimes Phi gives you, you know, valuable advice. Gears of Fate has begun to turn. I like that dialogue. Kind of reminds me of Chrono Trigger. Feel an evil power working in the shadows. It moves to warp the destiny of which you two are a part of. Interesting. She's basically telling us that we both have some sort of role or destiny. Like she pretty much, you know, can foretell the future of what's to happen. Farum Woods is going to be the next big area that we're going to be exploring, and that's actually going to be the first, you know, I would say the first real complete world area of the game where the first dungeon takes place and all that. So we'll be heading towards there pretty soon. Now this tutorial introduces you to beacons. This is pretty interesting, and I find it helps me out a lot in the game. What you basically do is you can see like how like there's an X right on the map. That's where we have to go. You can place these beacons basically on the area where you need to be, and like if you're far away, you can see a shining light, like from the heavens, shining down, you know, kind of lighting the way to where you need to go, and you just basically follow that light, and then you can, you know, not get lost that way. I find it a convenient element to use in the game. So now we're heading towards Farron Woods. Yep, thank you. I already took the treasure chest. And now she just unlocked the door for us, the other door. So this is pretty much where our journey truly begins. I know I've said that a couple times before, but this is basically, I mean, this is where we kick off our damn, you know, skates, and we really get into the action of the game. But I won't be displaying that really in this video. In our next video, we'll definitely be focusing on a lot more gameplay aspects. It's going to be like probably, you know, 90% gameplay, 10% story, so. Signs indicate that she is here to protect the temple. Okay, let's go. And here we are. We're almost there. See, you can see the beacon way back off in the distance there, how it's a big old blue light shining down. I find that really cool because it's not that hard to get lost and stuff. And later on in the game, you know, when you have certain quests to fulfill and things like that, you'll, you know, be able to get where you need to be. Alright, now you can see down here, these are one of the enemies you'll find frequently in the Farron Woods. This is where you really get to see the combat system go to work. Now, this is kind of cheating in my opinion, but the best way to take out these guys is one Skyward strike, and you take out 3 of them all at once. And then you can just focus on the 2. So it says target lock red bubblegum. This will tell you these monsters have plagued the land since ancient times. They each play different roles and their weaponry varies. They prefer to act in groups. None of them are intelligent by any definition of the word. Curiously, they seem to have a mysterious obsession with fashionable undergarments. Okay. It says you have defeated 265 of this type of enemy. My analysis shows that your battle performance rating with this enemy is very strong. So when I first, you know, played this game, these enemies were a little bit challenging, you know, because you have to attack them in a sort of manner where, you know, you have to strike them during their weak points. Like they'll raise their sword, and if you use a vertical slash, they'll actually block it. Or if they, you know, lower their sword and use a horizontal slash, they'll block it. So you have to kind of anticipate where their attacks will be. And that's just, you know, one enemy. But things will get a lot more interesting in the next video for sure, because we'll be fighting a lot of enemies. Okay, so this is the Goron that we meet.
Hey.
Yeah, we just came from there. Isle of the Goddess, also called Skyloft. Okay, so this is the very last tutorial before you get to enter Farron Woods. This teaches you about the goddess statues, and these statues are a little bit different than the regular ones that we've been using to save. They're actually used to actually teleport back to the surface, or back to the sky world, and you can teleport from the sky world to the surface world with using these statues. And there's one in every different world area. Like for example, we're in the Farron Woods area, so there'll be one right here, but you won't find a whole bunch of them scattered about. there's only one in each area, so you got to use them, you know, accordingly, however you're playing the game. I like this dialogue here. The guy's talking about. He's talking about this, you know, civilization of winged creatures. Of course, we already know about that because that's where it came from. But I find it interesting. And later on, you know, when you talk to this Goron multiple times throughout the game, he'll give you more information on certain things and secrets and whatnot. These statues are a little bit different than the ordinary statues. They're actually orange. I'll just click sure, held it. Okay, that's enough of that. Now when Link gets close, watch what happens. Turns that golden bright orange. So, you know, basically if you're finding yourself in a pinch or if you have problems, you know, and you're running out of hearts, bottles, whatever the case may be, you can use this statue to teleport, you know, back to the Skyloft and, you know, prepare yourself and then descend back, you know, to the surface world if you want to. So that's what's useful about those statues. I'm gonna get these two bugs right here since I saw them over here crawling on the wall. There's another bug. That bug you actually can't capture because he's a grasshopper and he's not on the wall, so you have to use a bug net. Anyways, we're gonna save right here. And you can see where it says to the sky, or save and quit, or save. So to the sky will teleport you back to Skyloft, and then save will just save the game. So I'm gonna save. Alright guys, that's it. The next video is going to be heavily more focused on gameplay, you know, the gameplay aspects, and so, you know, we're going to be I'm doing quite a lot of puzzles and going through many of the, you know, ordinary Zelda adventures and stuff. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.